Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and there's a link to my Ko-fi account in the description if you're able to help support the channel. That way it is greatly appreciated. So today, this will be our last gameplay video before Edge of Eternities drops. Check out my top 10 Edge of Eternities cards for Pioneer video if you haven't already. I've got some spicy new cards coming to the format, which I think should have a bit of an impact, so obviously we'll be trying lots of those out in the next few weeks. But in the meantime, I just wanted to finish off this era of the format by playing another one of those decks, a bit like the mono green Ugin deck that I played the other day that I've been meaning to play for a while but just never got around to, and that is Simic Poison, Simic Ivy it used to be called. It does a similar kind of thing. It's kind of built around Venerated Rotpriest, which is the 1/2 Phyrexian Druid. For 1 green it has Toxic of 1, but also says whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. And then you combine that with creatures like Mockingbird that copy it, and then Ivy, which says whenever a player casts a spell, the target's only a single creature other than Ivy. You may copy that spell. If the copy targets Ivy, you just build up poison counters very, very quickly. If you can get through for an attack as well, that just adds all the extra damage that you need, the extra poison counters. So yeah, and then the rest of the deck is kind of just copying the Rotpriest, going to fetch other Rotpriests, protecting the Rotpriest. You know, it's that kind of deck. So we got March of Swirling Mists, which protects our creatures by phasing them out. March of Burgeoning Life, which lets us go and find copies of a creature which we've already got on the battlefield. Then cards like Tamio Safekeeping, Fading Hope, you know, they're just Get Out, Spell Pierce, you know, the counter spells. They're all there just to protect what we're doing. A lot of them target the creatures, so, you know, targeting a Rotpriest with a Tamio Safekeeping not only protects it from removal, but also gives the opponent a poison counter. Enter the Enigma prevents a creature from being blocked, so again by targeting it, so can do that on the Rotpriest. So yeah, just that's kind of how it works. Just protect the creatures and then just build up poison counters as quickly as possible. You know, in a deck like this, you would be hoping to be able to do it in 2 or 3 turns to be able to poison the opponent out of the game. We do have a couple of well, we've got a couple of copies of Nature's Rhythm, which is kind of the newest card in the deck, which is just a kind of tutor for any creature that we want. Obviously, a deck like this is pretty cheap, can't be harmonized later on. Invasion of Ikoria does a similar kind of thing. So yeah, that is the main deck. Relatively low land count, as you'd imagine, given that most of the spells are kind of, I mean, these are X spells, but the marches can be kind of cheated into play as well. So 21 lands, 16 dual lands, a few basic lands, and an Otawara, a Boseiju. Sideboard, we've got another Fading Hope, just in case we need it. It's a good tempo card as well if we need to get something out of the way that the opponent's playing. Into the Floodmoor, this does a similar kind of thing. Obviously, this only targets the opponent's creatures. Pick Your Poison, pretty versatile removal spell. Bring the Ending, just another. This is a good counter spell in a deck like this, as it often will just be a hard counter. Disdainful Stroke, negate Mystical Dispute, and then This Town Ain't Big Enough is just another way of protecting a creature, targeting it at the same time. It's a good tempo play as well, as we know from the self-bounce decks. Yeah, so a lot of just, again, ways of protecting our creatures, interacting a little with what the opponent's doing, but that's not the kind of primary idea behind this deck. We don't really mind what they're doing as long as they're not doing it too quickly, and hopefully we will be able to beat them before they kill us. Well, that's the idea behind the deck. So thank you very much for watching, and let's go on to the ladder. I mean, see, this is an interesting one. It's got no Rotpriest and no way of getting one, which I think makes it a mulligan, despite being on the face of it a relatively keepable hand. Okay, that's better. So yeah, pop back Invasion of Ikoria. Okay, the opponent's playing a Spirits deck. So I think I am going to play the Rotpriest and assume that it does survive. The lack of land's pretty frustrating here. Let's just copy the Rotpriest. So I don't think it's worth attacking at this point yet. They would have had a way of killing it, which I don't think we particularly need to do right now. Okay, that's not a spell, so that helps them get around the old poison counter clause. I'm still in this despite only having one land, which is kind of annoying. Still only one land. Okay. So I'm not quite dead on board. It's not looking amazing. Fine. Right, well, March of Swirling Mists. For 2, we'll exile another March. Target both of our Rotpriests. There we are. And we should be able to win from here, all done with a single land. Which is kind of absurd, really, but but that is the power of the March of the Swirling Mists when you have multiple Venerated Rotpriests available. Okay, so the opponent's running Spirits, so let's move our creatures out a second. So Mystical Dispute we definitely want. I think how good is Pick Your Poison here? It's quite good in the early game. Maybe we'll stick a couple in. I think we probably don't need Negate because we got Spell Pierce. Tameo Safekeeping is fine. Get Out is probably a bit too on the slow side. Fading Hope, I think we can trim a couple of those. Bring the Ending, probably decent on the play. I think that will be fine. Yep, this will do. I don't actually particularly feel the need to put this into play yet, I don't think. I can protect it with a Tamiyo safekeeping. Okay. Good first match. Yeah, this would be a good hand if this was any other land, if this was a dual land. So yeah, I think this is a ship. Okay, this is pretty good. Let's get rid of Into the Enigma for now. As I do want the ability to fetch up another Rotpriest. Red. Okay. Well, not going to play Rotpriest into red. Okay. Looks like the opponent's plan is to go as big as possible as well. That's fat. That's fine. Screaming Nemesis. Sure thing. I think let's just bounce the Scream. Give us a little more time to do our thing. March of Swirling Mists is going to come in really handy here. Okay, Mockingbird is good. So yeah, let's copy the Rotpriest. Let the opponent have another turn. Sure thing. So I could march the Emberheart Challenger as well. I don't love doing it just because it kind of takes away a lot of my damage. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to take the damage here and hope for the best. So I go to 8. Sure thing. Okay, so I could march both of these, but I'd have to lose my Ivy, which I don't love. So that would get them to 5 poison counters. Then I'd have to draw something else, I think. And I'm kind of in that situation where I need to do that anyway. So, yep, let's do it. Yeah, maybe I should have marched the Heartfire hero as well, actually. Okay, this works because I can attack. They go to 6 poison. Then I just march both of these. Okay, great. Managed to break mono red serve there. Well, they had a pretty aggressive draw. Those Ember Hearts were pretty spicy. So yeah, let's just move out our creatures again. So yeah, they'll bring in more creature removal, I would imagine. So pick your poison is pretty bad, I think, here. We do want the other Fading Hope maybe into the Flood more as well, just for tempo. trim a couple of Invasion of Icorias and maybe a Nature's Rhythm as well. Do I want anything else? No, I think this is fine. Again, this is no Rotpriest and no way of getting one hand, which I think is a mulligan. This is also a mulligan as it has no creatures. Yeah, this one I think I'm going to have to keep, unfortunately. I think is going to be a very difficult one to win with. Okay, let's send that back. Okay, the opponent's a little low on mana, which is something. I'm also just not doing anything, which is not ideal. Yep, let's have a Heartfire hero. Then at least I can use its abilities. At least I can protect it for a turn. I mean, this is all pretty heavy faffage. It's not like I'm proactively doing anything here. A Shadow Spear, huh? Well, I suppose that works against some of my hexproof and indestructible stuff. Okay, that was disappointing. So I think let's put back in our fetchables here. We'll put in Bring the Ending as well. So we need 5 cuts, which I think will probably be Enter the Enigma, as the opponent is probably just attacking themselves. Let's just have 3 copies of Invasion of Ikoria then. So yeah, you kind of see the worst case scenario of the deck there, which is just didn't do anything. Okay, that'll do. Not going to play the Rotpriest on 1, just because I do want to be able to protect it. And Mockingbird's pretty good, so we'll play one Rotpriest. We'll hold up Safekeeping and Spell Pierce. That's bait. Which I ain't fooling for. Hehehe, no, 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 no. Okay, I have to lose some life here, unfortunately, but let's Mockingbird a copy of Rotpriest. I do need to draw something that lets me target things, though. Yeah, I think we can bring the ending on that. Let's not have an Emberheart Challenger on the board. Okay, Commander faces Kakazan. It's just okay. Ottawara's kind of tempting here, but I do kind of just want to be able to... so how does this work? If I go and get a Mockingbird, I can copy the Rotpriest, I think. Because it enters as a copy of... No, it just enters as a Mockingbird. Well, that was a mistake. Enter as a copy. Mana value. I suppose because I didn't spend any mana, it's not just one. Oh well, that's me learned. Okay, Fading Hope's good. So I think let's send in the Rotpriest. I think we are just going to have to pass the turn, unfortunately. Oh god, this is going to be close. Do it. Okay. So, let's block the Scream. Whenever a creature you control. Then we'll Fading Hope our own Mockingbird. Does that do anything? I don't think it does, actually. I need a spell which targets. I go to 3. Spell that targets. I think that'll do it. So yeah, if we copy the Rotpriest, play March of Burgeoning Life for 1. No, choose target creature less than X. Okay. Marching. Whew. Wow. That was a hell of a match. Yeah, that March of Burgeoning Life came in clutch there. Yeah, 3 Rotpriests. I mean, yeah, I had another poison counter if I needed it with the flying. But yeah, made the mistake with the Mockingbird. Still worked out. Ah! Wrong land. Okay, this one will have to do. I don't love it. Let's put back the island. Yeah, 3 mana Rotpriest feels much worse. It's fine. If only my Mockingbird could copy something. Okay, FOMO, sure thing. Is this Greasefang, maybe? Hard to say. I'll just keep playing Botanical Sanctums. Looks like it. There's Greasefang. Don't particularly want to give them another discard. Okay. All Botanical Sanctum all the time. And an Unholy Annex. Okay, okay, okay. Well, I do think I just kind of have to go and get the Rotpriest here. And work under the very heavy assumption that they will be able to kill it. Oh, they killed it. To the surprise of no one. Yeah, I couldn't wait another turn, I don't think. Not with all of this stuff coming in. Okay, that's their first vehicle, and they've got the... Yep, alright. No, fair enough, we just didn't really have anything there. So... Against Greasefang, I definitely want the other Fading Hope. There's a protective card, as well as a... Yeah, pick your poison. Just feels a bit rough. We won't bring the ending... Yeah, we don't really have any graveyard hate, which could turn into a problem. Yeah, this might just be a pretty rough matchup for this deck, unfortunately. Trim a couple of Enter the Enigmas. Yeah, probably a Spell Pierce as well. Let's keep Spell Pierce, actually, Fear of Thoughtseize. Yeah, just ditch one Nature's Rhythm, as they've got so many Thoughtseizes and Hand Disruption spells. Okay, well, we need another land. I'm not going to play the Rotpriest for... I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, isn't it? They might have... Yep, let's Fading Hope it. Give them a poison counter. No thank you. And another. No Parhelion is good, so we'll play Rotpriest number 2. So March of Burgeoning Life is actually an instant, so I could go and do that at instant speed. Yeah, another one. Okay, this is all going pretty well, so we'll attack them to 5 poison. Play the Mockingbird. Then we got Bring the Ending, which is a hard counter, and March of Swirling Mists. Yeah, so we'll counter that. Cool. Super dead. Now I need to find a way of beating Greasefang on the draw. I think into the Floodmoor we definitely need. We need Get Out. I think let's trim one Ivy and the other Nature's Rhythm. Yep, this hand is entirely dependent on us drawing another land. Okay. Am I going to wait a turn? I think I probably should. Even though I've got Invasion of Ikoria. So yeah, let's get Rotpriest number 1 down. Wow. Huh. Okay, the Rotpriest's dominating. Okay, we'll take it for one last spin. This deck has done far better than I expected it to, so we'll take that. I've also had opponents who seemingly just pieced out whenever they saw a Venerated Rotpriest, which is fair enough. It is an incredibly annoying card, and this is an incredibly annoying hand. I feel like I have... a lot of my hands have had, like, my mono-coloured lands in, as opposed to my dual lands. Okay, that is much better. So, we'll keep it. The opponent's playing Zerda, which could mean anything. So I think I'll pop back into the Enigma. Yeah, this is a tough one now. I think we hold the Rotpriest for a turn. Okay, the opponent's playing Lotus Field. So yeah, let's get one Rotpriest into play. And pass the turn. Yeah, right. You want to have a poison counter for free? I'll gladly accept. We are going to have to move quite quickly here, though, I think. Because they'll go and get a Lotus field. Nah, Thespian stage instead. Okay, they've already got the Lotus field. So probably got a couple of turns to do this. Okay, another Rotpriest is going to help a lot. So yeah, let's play both of those. We'll pass the turn. Then yeah, I think we'll march them both. Opponent probably can't win this turn. I say probably. Okay, I like that. Now, if you wouldn't mind just passing through and not using that white mana, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so we'll March of Swirling Mists, exiling Ivy, which seems to have been its primary function in this video. We'll give them 5 poison counters. Okay, that should be sufficient, so we'll target the Rotpriest with Tamiyo's Safekeeping. I'll get them to 7 poison counters. And Fading Hope. Yes, indeed. Okay, so that was good. How are we going to sideboard against Lotus Field? Pick Your Poison's a reasonable answer to Expedition Map. It's not a great answer to anything else. I definitely want Mystical Dispute. I think I want Disdainful Stroke as well. Probably bring the ending and negate. Am I just going maximum counterspell to try and disrupt what they're doing, or do I just not have the time? Is that too reactive? Am I just trying desperately to just do my thing before they stop me? I think I actually am. Yeah, I think Mystical Dispute's fine, because that's a cheap counterspell. It's a 1-drop in most situations if I'm countering like a Pour Over the Pages. Yeah, maybe I don't want to bring the ending. Well, I don't need Enter the Enigma, because they're only creatures, so let's put in Bring the Ending. No, Negate is better, I think, actually, because if we don't have the poison online, Bring the Ending, they got so much mana that it could be a problem. Okay, it's a difficult one to know how to sideboard against, but March of Burgeoning Life 3 times, no Rotpriest. It's a problem. Okay, I'll do. So we'll put back probably Invasion of Ikoria. See, could have played Pick Your Poison. I'd have been having a lovely time of it right now. I've been laughing all the way to the bank. Okay. Let's copy our Rotpriest. March of Burgeoning Life can probably just exile Nature's Rhythm here. Let's leave Ivy. Let's try and do actual Ivy things for once in our life. Okay, you can play Lotus Field, but you will have to lose your Hespian stage to do so. Okay, I like that. What can they do with one Lotus Field? One Lotus Field is pretty hard, I think, because the hidden strings just aren't doing enough if you've only got one thing to untap. I assume. I don't know. That's fine. Another map. Okay, this is a good turn for them. So ideally I would want to be able to win this turn, which I think I can. So if I march for 2, getting rid of Nature's Rhythm. The Rotpriest, not the Mockingbird, just to be clear. So that gets them to 3 poison counters. Yeah, this works. So attack, 6 poison counters, Fading Hope, 10 poison counters. Sucks to be you, Lotus Field. Well, there you are. 4-0 with a jank deck. Cannot complain about that. I'm shocked that that deck did as well as it did. We had some fortunate draws, for sure. There was some luck there. But, yeah, that was pretty spicy. Alright, let's take one last punt with a Final Fantasy pack before we start on Edge of Eternities. Oh, and it's an unplayable land. Should have saved the gold. So yeah, Simic Poison. That was surprisingly powerful, given everything. Yeah, the Rotpriest just being protected by all of these various spells. March of Swirling Mists just doles out so many poison counters. Nature's Rhythm was a good addition. We didn't use it a huge amount, but it just adds a little bit of extra kind of basically more copies of Rotpriest, isn't it? That's what all of these things are. Yeah, no, that was good. That was very good. Surprised, but pleased. So yeah, here's the deck list one more time. It's in the description as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and contribute to the Coffee account if you can. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you next time for Edge of Eternities.